You know, it wasn't enough for me to just beat the story for Super Mario 64. I have a completionist soul, and I wouldn't stop until I got all 120 power stars under my belt, which I did, successfully. And now it's time to rank the level of challenge for each star from easiest to hardest. Real quick, completionists beware. Actually, this game isn't that bad to hit the 100% on. By the time you beat Bowser for the last time casually, you're already over 50% of the way there. It took me about 18 hours to fully complete Mario 64 on a mostly blind playthrough, and that's with plenty of time spent dicking around, lost, or even dying. If you have that gamer OCD, go for it. This is not that bad of a completion journey overall. Some ground rules before we get started. Though this is a ranking from easiest to hardest, I don't just take raw difficulty into account. I also consider how time-consuming or obscure a star's level is. Think of this more as a least effort to most effort ranking. Why didn't I call the video that? Shut up. Also, this is all just based on my opinion. It's okay if you disagree with me. In fact, tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. You really want to stick it to me? Hit those like and subscribe buttons too, that'll really show me. Ultimately, 120 objectives were a lot to compare to each other. I could see myself shifting some things a little higher or lower here and there, but I had to stop and settle on this list at some point. So I went with my gut feeling as it was in the moment. I don't have a lot of desire to deep dive each individual star. If I only spent 30 seconds speaking on every level, this video would go over an hour, so I'll try to use as brief and concise of logic as I can on each entry, unlike this intro. Kicking off the bottom of the list with the simplest star, rank 120, is In the Deep Freeze. I mean, it's pretty much out in the open. A couple jumps in the world's easiest maze and you got it. At 119 is the Manta Ray's reward. All you gotta do is swim behind a Manta Ray and go through 5 rings he farts out in a row. But they stick around for a while, and they're huge and easy to swim through. Very quick. Not sure how you lose unless you waste an obscene amount of time and drown. Spot 118 is going to Secret Aquarium. Near identical logic to Manta Rings, all you do is swim around and collect 8 red coins, which is technically harder than Manta Rings because 8 is bigger than 5, but that's about it. The biggest challenge is finding the level in the castle to begin with. Next up in 117 is Toad's first star. Toad is a sneaky little guy hiding around the castle, but once you find him, it's a free star. Then at 116, it's Toad's second star, because it's the same thing as Toad's first star, but appears a little later. Then at 115, we have Toad's third star, because it's the same thing as Toad's second star, but it appears a little later. At spot 114, we have Shoot to the Island in the Sky. All you gotta do is, well, shoot to the island in the sky. There's literally no lose condition on this level. No time limit, no direct enemy threat. The only reason I even put the star this high is because I actually had to put a molecule worth of brain thought into aiming and landing on the island. But you know what would have happened if I screwed it up? Nothing. I would have just tried again. Next at rank 113 we have Blast to the Stone Pillar. It's practically just shoot to the island in the sky again, but with one extra step of jumping to the ledge with the star. At 112 is Shoot into the Wild Blue. Part 3 of the Canon Launch Trilogy. It's the hardest of the 3 with the most precise shot needed to reach the star, and there is the potential to fly off the map and die here. All that to say, it's still a very easy level. Going to spot 111 is Whirl from the Freezing Pond. The idea is to jump on one of these spinny floaties and they'll make you all spinny floaty so you can reach the star. It's a little awkward nailing the depth perception needed to land the jump, but that's really it. So the levels at number 110 and at number 109 are completely interchangeable with each other. That is Through the Jet Stream, and also Through the Jet Stream. Yeah, these two levels are so similar, even the developers forgot to name them differently. One is from the map Jolly Roger Bay, and the other from Dire Dire Docks. They're the exact same level. You grab the metal cap, sink to the bottom of a strong water jet to retrieve the star. All you have to worry about is unlocking the metal cap to begin with. Going into 108, I have Collect the Caps. I apparently did this level completely wrong when I played it. I think the idea is that you don the metal cap and the vanish cap at the same time, and reap both of their benefits together. So you sink to the bottom of the water while also being able to phase through the metal gate with the star. I didn't even know you could stack the cap power-ups together, so I just slapped on a vanish cap and swam through the gate to the star. The metal cap isn't even necessary, and with that in mind, it's essentially just Through the Jet Stream, but with a vanish cap instead. At 107 is Behind Chain Chomp's Gate. Now this big chompy boy definitely adds an intimidation factor, and he very much can kill you if you dick around. But ultimately, it's a very quick and easy star. Slam the post 3 times, free the toothy lad, and collect the star. Rank 106, we got Footrace with Koopa the Quick. I feel like the obvious joke involves how easy racing a giant turtle would be, but instead of telling you that, I'm just gonna show you. I casually got to the finish line before Koopa the Quick so quickly and had so much spare time at the end that I thought I genuinely lost him somewhere along the way. Coming in at number 105 is Shocking Arrow Lifts. What the developers wanted you to do is try to jump across these moving arrow blocks while all these electrical amps try to fry you. What I did was execute one decent long jump and skip the entire challenge for a free star. At 104 is Bored Bowser's Sub. Pretty straightforward level, swim through the tunnel and get on the sub. Spawning the timed blocks and working your way up to the sub can be a little tricky, but nothing even remotely crazy. Next up in rank 103 is Fall into the Caged Island. The star is placed way up in this roofless cage in the sky, and you need to wake this owl in a tree to hitch a ride up. The hardest part is knowing that the owl exists in the first place. Although this game is pretty good about hiding rewards in treetops, with a little gamer mode investigation, you can reasonably discover the owl here. After that, you just fly to the star like it's free. Rank 102 goes to Cavern of the Metal Cap Coins. This is for sure the easiest red coin collecting mission. The Metal Cap Cavern has the least amount of space to hide in out of any location in the game, and all the coins are practically within arm's reach of each other. With minimal effort, you'll find all 8 coins in no time. Again, the biggest challenge is finding the cavern in the first place, but I got to it by complete accident on a blind playthrough, so I guess it can't be that hard to find. Next up at 101 is the 8 coin puzzle with 15 pieces. You don't even have to explore Lethal Lava Land to find the coins, because they're all confined to like a 15 square foot arena. The challenge comes in the risk from the moving puzzle pieces that could drop you into the lava, but it's easy to see the movement coming, and the red coins can replenish any health you lose from the lava. Coming into spot 100 is In the Talons of the Big Bird. This star is in the talons of a big bird. Grab the wing cap and fly into the bird to free the star. That's really all there is to it. At 99 is Secret of the Haunted Books. After a little mansion exploring, I came into a library where the books tried to kill me. I knew it! Fuck literature! There are 3 books that need to be pushed in a specific order, but since it's only 3 books, the game of trial and error is over pretty quickly, and then the star is all yours. Rank 98 goes to Chill with the Bully. Despite being a later game boss, it's easy as hell. The slippery arena and small battle space don't do too much to deter the player. The bully is big and easy to kick off the side for the star. Next up at 97 is Blast Away the Wall. Now I gave this level a lot of crap in my ranting video, which you should totally go check out after this one. But I gave it a lot of crap because it was stupidly obscure. From a game design philosophy, it's one of my least favorite levels, but all of its credit in this video is due to how cryptic the solution is. However, one Google search later and you have a piece of cake mission that will never cause issues again since you know the answer to the problem. Coming into number 96, we got Big Bob-omb on the Summit. The very first level of the game, which should actually earn it some credit for being this high on the list. You got some dangerous obstacles to run by and a boss fight with Big Bob-omb to top it all off. There's kind of a lot to go through for an early level, but all in all, it's not too dangerous. The biggest hurdle is the controls for this game, with every action being tied to the B button. Playing grab ass with Big Bob-omb to deal damage becomes an immediate annoyance. Luckily, the boss hardly ever does anything to deal damage to Mario, so the room for error is very courteous. At spot 95 is Find the 8 Red Coins. This is a joyous search for 8 red coins scattered about Bob-omb Battlefield. Like with almost any power star on Bob-omb Battlefield, it's actually really hard to die or fail. The difficulty comes in your ability to locate the coins, but they aren't exactly hidden like lost treasures. If you have even a semblance of thoroughness, you'll have no problem finding them. At rank 94 we have Can the Eel Come Out and Play? Luring the giant eel out is simple enough, then it's just a game of chasing its tail for the star. A little dodgy maybe, but actually considerably easier than I initially thought this would be. Next up at number 93 is Shell Shredding for 8 red coins. This starts off the same as Whirl from the Freezing Pond, but then there's more to it. You gotta hop on a turtle shell and surf for coins placed around the snowland. It's fun, it's fast, it's simple. Coming into spot 92 is Pole Jumping for red coins. Once again, the search for the red coins is made pretty easy when they're all put in the same room. This level is all about jumping from pole to pole for red coins. You don't need masterful timing at all to pull this off, though waiting around for the moving poles to align can be pretty damn boring. At number 91 is Ride Big Boo's Merry-Go-Round. Big Boo is a boss fight so easy that it's not hard. The source of the challenge comes from trying to keep your sense of direction in a rotating room with fire jetting out of the room, which sounds insane in concept, but it's actually not that bad at all. Rank 90 goes to Treasure of the Ocean Cave. I love this level, it just gives a clean adventure. Going on a deep dive through a secret tunnel, dodging collapsing rock pillars, and then playing a trial and error game with 4 treasure chests sounds like a lot packaged in one level. However, we're only just now breaking out of the first fourth of these rankings, so it's still on the easier side of things. Next up at 89 is Boil the Big Bully. Take a quick jaunt through a lava course and knock this big goober into boiling death. Just like the ice bully, this large bully enemy is a hard target to miss when thrown out the boot, but there is a bit of legwork needed to reach him in the first place. Coming into rank 88 is Bully the Bullies. Very similar to the last level, but you gotta melt a few minions before fighting the main big boy. The tiny fellas are actually more difficult to kill because they're harder to give the boot to. At number 87 is Watch for the Rolling Rocks. It's a pretty short jog to this star, but you gotta mind the deadly ass boulders rolling down the path. The worst part is actually how the star is tucked up high on a ledge out of camera view. It's incredibly easy to miss and walk right by, but once you know it's there, it's nothing special. Rank 86 goes to Big Boo's Balcony. Similar to the last level, let's just put the ledge you need to climb up to way out of camera view. Very annoying. I hate when this game does that. Once you are aware that it's there, you face another Big Boo on a cramped balcony, which is about all you can do to give even the smallest amount of challenge for this encounter. Then give a Hail Mary jump to the roof for the star. Next up in rank 85 is Eye to Eye in the Secret Room. Pretty much another version of Big Boo's Balcony. You jump up to the same hidden ledge, except this time you need the Vanish Cap to enter this secret room behind a painting. You'll then be greeted with a 6-second boss fight and an underwhelmingly easy star. Coming into spot 84 is Seek the 8 Red Coins, another coin collection level more along the lines of the scavenger hunt design. It requires a good search high and low of the haunted mansion, and some coins can even be a little treacherous to reach. I came into this room and a piano tried to kill me. I knew it! Fuck Beethoven! At number 83 is Go on a Ghost Hunt. This is very much like the previous 8 red coins seeking, as you're running around the haunted mansion exploring every room, this time with the goal of hunting down every boo and finishing off the giant boo in the lobby afterwards. Rank 82 goes to Pluck the Piranha Flower. This tiny huge island star requires the least amount of exploration, thus exposing you to the least amount of environmental hazards on the island. You'll have to take down a nasty batch of giant fire-spitting piranha flowers, which doesn't sound easy, but they die in one strike, so it's not a fiercely epic battle. Next up at 81 is Little Penguin Lost. A neglectful mother penguin loses her baby and Mario has to be the substitute father for the day. Now a lot of players will think it's the little tyke nearby, but in fact the true child of interest is high atop the mountain back at the level start. The red herring penguin baby does nothing more than waste some time, and bringing the actual child down is hardly more challenging than just navigating the mountain as you would normally. Coming in at number 80 is Quick Race Through Downtown. First you gotta find the downtown of Wet Dry World by maxing out the water level to jump over the fence in the corner. Then you need to grab the Vanish Cap and race to the opposite side to phase through another cage with a star trapped inside. In a lot of ways, it reminds me of racing Koopa the Quick in Bob-omb Battlefield because I had plenty of time to wait around before my time limit expired. However, I gave this star a higher place on the list because of the additional steps requiring the water level gimmick and getting the Vanish Cap. At number 79 is Into the Igloo. Do the whirl from the freezing pond again, and grab a shell to shred with again, but skip the red coins and head for this well-hidden igloo. Once inside, it's just a Vanish Cap race through the ice. I'll give difficulty credit to how tucked away the igloo was. I couldn't find this shit for the longest time, but maybe I'm just a dumbass. Rank 78 is Navigating the Toxic Maze. Oh boy, more ledges tucked away out of clear camera view. And it's in a toxic maze too. Once you know where to go, it's not so bad. Next at number 77 is Amazing Emergency Exit. I've said that a lot of levels are similar to previous levels. This one is just like a carbon copy of the last Toxic Maze star. Even the two exits are neighboring each other. This version just adds a tedious fence monkey bar section at the end. Coming in at 76, we have Chip Off Womp's Block. There's a good amount of hazards on this stage to worry about, places to fall, enemies to dodge, and a boss that can actually kill you up top. Still a pretty easy boss, but at least this level puts in a bit of effort trying to stop you. At spot 75 is to the top of the fortress. It's just like the last level against the Womp King, but swap out the boss fight for an extra climb up the fortress tower. I think the extra climb and addition of bullet bills chasing me down is slightly harder than fighting the Womp King. Rank 74 goes to Scary Shrooms Red Coins. Another instance of red coins being packed tightly together. Half the coins are hanging out on these rather precarious mushroom platforms. There's a real chance of falling to death here, but if you've grown accustomed to your platforming skills, you should be able to manage. The other red coins are on this vine wall, which, although there are enemies in the way, they don't insta-kill you and thus alleviate half the challenge here. Next at number 73 is Mario Wings to the Sky. You need to fly Mario through 5 rings of coins in the sky using the wing cap. Typically any star that requires the wing cap is a pain in the ass, as you'll see later in this list, because the flight controls are not agreeable and it sucks trying to grab things. Luckily, the rings of coins floating around here are generously large and easy enough to fly through. Coming in at spot 72 is Stand Tall on 4 Pillars, another wing cap centered star. Landing on the 4 pillars is comparable to aiming at the rings of coins, but the level doesn't end at the pillars. The pyramid then opens up and the fight with IROC begins. Not gonna lie, when it comes to bosses, IROC probably takes the cake in fight difficulty, just shy of Bowser himself. On a grander scale, it's still an easy fight, but this level at least earns my respect. At number 71 is Inside the Ancient Pyramid. This level involves running up the inside of Shifting Sandland's pyramid. There's plenty of enemies, quicksand, and basic platforming standing in the way. It'll require that you're paying attention, but it's still a long shot from needing exhausting levels of effort to get through. Rank 70 is Wall Kicks Will Work. It may take a couple attempts getting the wall jumping down, but even if you mess up, it's pretty low stakes. You just try again. It's actually more dangerous crossing the slim ledge that leads to the wall kick part. It's technically easier to cross, but technically riskier. Next at 69, we have Express Elevator Hurry Up. Drop the platform and try to wall jump to the top where the star is before the drop platform raises back in place. You gotta be quick on your execution, but the failure, again, is pretty low risk. Coming in at 68 is Swimming Beast in the Cavern. Similar logic continuing here. There's really no danger of failure or clear lose condition. The most annoying part is piloting Dory. I still don't fully understand how to effectively position him, her, it, to wherever I need him, or it, fuck. At spot 67 we have the Red Hot Log Rolling, another run through Lethal Lava Land, and this time it ends with a sketchy circus act on a giant rolling log. There's no safety net though, just lava, which ironically is more merciful than quicksand or tall heights, but it's still a very possible death sentence if you slip up. Running along the spinning log always stresses me out. I mean, how could you not be nervous in this situation? The game is pretty lenient about how far off the side of the log you can stand before actually falling off. Rank 66 goes to the Princess Secret Slide. It's actually pretty easy to fall off this stage. You're blitzing down a narrow slide at high speed, although there are a couple things that help make this easier. You're able to control your speed, so if you want to hold back to slow down, you're more than welcome to do so. The slide is also very short, so it's not really punishing to fall off of. You can just jump right back in to try again. Next at spot 65 is Slip Slidin' Away, another fast-paced slide level reminiscent of the Princess Slide. I personally found this layout to be just a little more challenging. Coming in at 64 is Big Penguin Race. The same exact course as Slip Slidin' Away, but now you gotta beat a penguin in a race. The penguin tends to really rubber band to Mario, meaning when you get farther ahead of the penguin speeds up drastically. However, when the penguin gets really far ahead, he'll slow down drastically in an attempt to make it a close race. If you mind your timing and boost ahead at the most necessary moments, you can guarantee your victory. At number 63 is Red Coins on the Floating Isle. This coin collectathon tends to be more dangerous than those before now due to the nature of Whomp's Fortress. The worst coins are the two at the very top of the map on these floating platforms, mostly due to the camera's betrayal. It's pretty easy to fall off and lose progress, but very few of the red coins actually put you in a deadly place. Still, there is a non-zero chance that something could go horribly wrong. Rank 62 goes to Free Flying for 8 red coins. Half the red coins are placed in the sky and need the wing cap to collect, while the other half are, I don't know, somewhere else. The 4 in the sky are the risky business. They tend to hover over deadly quicksand, and grabbing them while flying about isn't the easiest thing. The coins are pretty small targets to grab when you're on a Mario flight path. Next at 61 is Red Coins on the Ship Afloat. For the most part, this is a pretty easy level. There's some coins hidden among the clams and another batch placed above the pirate ship. Now this might just be me, but I had the most inexplicably difficult time reaching the 2 red coins on the ship's poop deck? Is that a poop deck? Something about how high the poop deck is makes it pretty hard to jump up to. You have this box sliding back and forth that you can use for an extra step, but it tends to be a jackass too. Now we're breaking into the top half of the list. Number 60 goes to Get a Hand, the first Tick-Tock Clock level on this list, for good reason. Tick-Tock Clock is a late game map with a lot of treacherous power stars, though Get a Hand is by far the easiest. You only have to climb a small portion of the whole level, and then you just stand on a clock hand and wait for it to rotate to the star. Coming in at 59 is Mip's Bunny Chase. This little bastard wants to run around stealing power stars like the floppy-eared fur douche that he is. It's a nuisance trying to snag him up, especially since wrestling with the B button to ensure Mario does the grab instead of anything else tends to be a nightmare. It is at least easy enough to trick the rabbit into a dead end and get a huge opportunity to snag the little prick. At 58 is Mip's Bunny Chase 2. It is 100% identical to the first chase, it just comes up later in the game. Rank 57 is Secrets in the Shallows and Sky. The idea here is to find 5 secret little spots hidden around Wet Dry World. They're pretty secret, well, secrets, so I wouldn't blame you if you had to peek at a walkthrough to figure this out. Next at 56 is Bowser in the Fire Sea coins. Bowser in the Fire Sea is a pretty linear course, so there's a limited number of places that the red coins could hide. Still, they do a decent enough job staying out of plain sight, and there's enough fiery hazards along the way to add a spice of difficulty. Coming in at 55 is Bowser in the Sky coins, very much like the last star, but this course doesn't have the safety cushion of burning lava to save you from death. A very strange thing to say. But falling in lava is a recoverable thing, while falling out of the sky is a no-hope scenario. At 54 is Bowser in the Dark World coins. Same story, different Bowser course. This one has 2 coins that are precariously placed on timed blocks over a deadly fall. And these 2 coins alone make this iteration the hardest of the trilogy. Rank 53 goes to Elevator Tour in the Volcano. I couldn't describe this level better myself. It's all about hanging tight on a moving platform through a volcano, and then a little dose of platforming high above a lake of lava towards the end. Next at 52 is Hot Foot It into the Volcano. It's like the Elevator Tour, except it's all platforming skill. You don't get the luxury of standing by for half the volcanic ride. You gotta work your way up to the star on your own. Coming in at 51 is Elevate for 8 red coins. Once more, we have the benefit of all 8 red coins being confined to a single room, and again, there's very few threatening things in the vicinity, so the only lose condition is your own patience. But man, I can't fully do justice with explaining how plain annoying this star was. Some red coins are along an on-rails elevator ride, and if you miss one, you gotta wait for the next lap. The more frustrating coins are floating about in the room, and you need to use this arrow button lift to get them, which is not a cool thing to pilot. Trying to juggle hitting the proper directions while jumping over pipes and navigating around platforms is like the video game equivalent of having to rub your stomach, pat your head, and write out long division. At 50 is Rematch with Koopa the Quick. For being a turtle, this fella sure does pick up the pace on round 2. He's considerably faster this go around, and the race course is more dangerous than it was in Bob-omb Battlefield. Rank 49 goes to Metalhead Mario Can Move. This is another race in a different sort of way. You gotta grab the metal cap and then get to this underwater button before the cap timer runs out. If you're not quick enough, you'll just float in the water, which makes pressing a button difficult. This is actually a real tight time limit. As soon as you grab that metal cap, you better start running. Next at spot 48 is the tip top of the Huge Island, another climb to the top type of star. This one gets its challenge just for being on Tiny Huge Island. You got this weird windy cliff segment, rolling balls of doom, just general danger in your way. Luckily it's a relatively quick jaunt up the mountain. Coming in at 47 is Top of the Town. This is, as far as I can remember, the shortest climb to the top power star when just speaking on the distance. This level adds unnecessary aggravation at the final stretch though. You gotta tightrope walk this incredibly long and thin piece of wood while the camera is at the worst possible angle. Then there's the amps, rotating platforms, and a chuck-ya that pops out of nowhere. Because you can't fucking see. At 46 is Make Wiggler Squirm. This level is the same as the tip top of the Huge Island, but more to do. You gotta start by reaching the top of the island mountain while it's tiny to bust open the pool at the top. Then you need to climb up the large version again to enter the new opening you made, which will lead to a boss fight with Wiggler. The boss fight is about as simple as it comes, but the main focus is on the back and forth trips up the island path. Rank 45 will be Blast to the Lonely Mushroom. Compared to all the other cannon shot type of levels, this one takes the cake in difficulty. The star you need to shoot to is way out near the boundaries on an isolated mushroom, and that mushroom is a small target to land on. Any miss means a fatal fall off the mountain. For all intents and purposes, this should be a pretty difficult level in concept, but I've never actually failed the shot to this star. Maybe I've just got the aiming down, or it's more generous than I realize, but on my experience alone, it fits well here. Next at 44 is Snowman's Lost His Head. This level just sucks with its communication. You talk to a snowman's body trying to reunite it with its head, and it tells you to lead the way to its head. But then it takes off down the mountain slope before you, so you're actually supposed to follow it? But actually you're supposed to beat it down the mountain and line up with the head at the bottom so he rolls towards you and lines up? But sometimes it just doesn't work, so the body rolls off the mountainside and then you gotta run to the top and do it again. This star is just difficult through confusion and poor design. Coming in at 43 is Plunder in the Sunken Ship. The first and largest hurdle is getting this damn eel to pop out of the ship hatch. Unlike getting the eel to come out and play later, I genuinely don't understand how you get him to come out of the ship. It's always just kinda random to me, but it always took forever, and I didn't know what to do differently on multiple attempts. Luckily, once in the ship, it's just another trial and error game with opening 4 treasure chests in the right order. Trying to open these chests with the swimming controls is a minor headache in its own right. Another example of just several nuisances packaged into one level. At 42, we have Scale the Mountain. A good, moderate challenge running up Tall Mountain. You're dealing with high falls, enemies, steel balls rolling, wind blowing, log rolling. I mean, it's a whole box of chocolates and Mario 64 hazards, conglomerated into a single level again. Rank 41 is Breathtaking View from the Bridge. This is about 90% of what Scaling the Mountain was, but you finish it off by taking a leap of faith into a secret waterfall cave with the star. Next at 40 is Mysterious Mountainside. Yet again, another level that is mostly Scale the Mountain. About 80% of the way up, you take a detour through a secret entrance and then have another fast-paced slide level. This one even throws a curveball with a literal dead end on the slide that you need to swerve away from to reach the end safely. Coming into number 39 is Vanish Cap of the Moat Coins. The vast majority are nothing too crazy, but the challenge really kicks up when trying to collect the coins on the sequence of platforms at the end. Something about how they line up for only the super brief period of time needed to cross them makes this lean towards the harder end of the scale. At 38, I got Roll Into the Cage. I'll be honest, pretty much all of the levels at Tick-Tock Clock feel almost identical. You're running up the same exact obstacles and stopping at varying points for the different stars, so forgive me if I sound like a broken record while I address each star on Tick-Tock Clock. Roll Into the Cage doesn't require as tall of a climb up Tick-Tock Clock, so I guess it lands here on the list. Rank 37 goes to the Pit and the Pendulums, another Tick-Tock Clock jaunt slightly further up the path than the last one. Next up in spot 36 is Time to Jump on Moving Bars, a even slightly further Tick-Tock Clock climb than the last one. Coming into 35 is Mystery of the Monkey Cage. So you're climbing Tall Mountain all over again, except now there's a filthy poop flinger taunting me at the top. Then the level becomes a smaller scale Mips Rabbit Chase to acquire the star. At 34 we have Stop Time for red coins. This is the most different Tick-Tock Clock star. Definitely strays away from the repetitious course climb formula. All the red coins are nearby the level start on these rotating platforms. If you're trying to grab them while they're spinning around, you're seriously playing the hard mode. I imagine it's possible in theory, but the spirit of this level is to stop time. Stopping time is a well-placed gameplay secret in and of itself. You need to enter Tick-Tock Clock through the clock portal when the minute hand is at noon to stop time. It's pretty cryptic discovering this to begin with, and even when you do know it, the platforms are still a hassle to move around on, even in stopped time, thanks to the control problems with the game. Rank 33 goes to Wiggler's Red Coins, a very sketchy red coin collection mission. First, it's just a pain in the ass walking the thin wooden beam to enter this room. Then you have a crazy perilous room with several rock ledges of various heights and distances you need to navigate to collect the red coins. Next up in spot 32 is Frosty Slide for 8 red coins. Cool Mountain utilizes its entire map to hide red coins around, and it's a damn good search. These coins are pretty well hidden, and on top of that, they're placed next to ledges where it's easy to die while reaching them, especially while dueling over the exaggerated ice physics. For being a somewhat earlier level you can encounter, it really asks you to execute on some skills to get these coins down. Coming into 31, let's talk about shining atop the pyramid. You know, there's a very strong and fair argument that this star should be placed way lower down the list because you could just grab a wing cap, if you have it unlocked, and fly directly to the top of the pyramid where the star resides with minimal effort. I didn't really think about that, to be honest. I was a little more focused on the traditionally intended way to get this star. That involves running up a spiraling set of walkways along the exterior of the pyramid while enemies try to blast you with fire off the side. And these walkways get increasingly narrower, eventually to the point where you could floss a Bikini Babe's asshole with it. I suppose with one brutally annoying way to the star and one considerably easier way, we'll just land it here on the list. At 30 is Pyramid Puzzle, an amazingly cryptic star to figure out. It's really not a puzzle, at least not in the normal way you'd think of a puzzle. It's another hunt for 5 secrets, almost like red coins, but less obvious to discover. You gotta enter the pyramid and grab 5 specific regular coins. A couple are on these platforms placed way high up and hard to access with dodgy drops onto them. But there is a method to the madness, where the environmental sandfalls actually cue you into where to align your drops. I felt like a damn super sleuth figuring this out. It's a very easy thing to miss and struggle with for a while. Rank 29 goes to 5 Itty Bitty Secrets. Tiny Huge Island's version of this obscure secret hunt is the obscurest of the obscure. There's no rhyme or reason to the locations you need to visit to unlock this star. Even while fixing my eyes on a walkthrough, the only thoughts that came into my mind was, Wow, how the hell would I know to go there and find that? Totally nonsensical, overly obscure to solve. This could be on par with Blast Away the Wall in the what the fuck factor. Next up at spot 28 is Wing Mario Over the Rainbow. I slightly mentioned this already, but trying to collect red coins while being Wing Mario is an overly precise process, and quite often you'll need a couple passes before you finally nail it. Luckily, you have plenty of platforms to work with, and none of the coins are placed so high that you can't glide back up to them if you miss them. Coming into 27 is the Princess's Secret Slide Returned. We've been down this road before, except now you gotta race to the bottom in under 21 seconds. Maybe it's just me, but I felt like this was a pretty damn strict time limit. It's not like racing the penguin where if he gets too far ahead he'll slow down. 21 seconds is 21 seconds. You can't control the flow of time. The additional challenge with having a tight time limit is the fact that you gotta blitz down the slide super fast. And that makes it so much easier to go careening uncontrollably off the edge. Now don't get me wrong, this is a really fun level. The challenge here really does something for me, and the level being so short means it's quick to jump back into, you know? Failures and fall-offs aren't punishing because the level is only about 21 seconds long. At 26 is Go to Town for red coins. This goes back to the hidden sub-area in Wet Dry World. This time around, we're collecting 8 red coins in the area. Honestly, it's just utter hell trying to jump around and explore this zone. Despite being another case of having no lose condition besides the player's own individual level of patience, this level was great at pushing on that limit for me. It's just too slippery and janky to navigate. Rank 25, I have Chests in the Current, the last trial and error mission for opening chests. Thing is, all these chests are placed in close reach of an insta-kill whirlpool, which seriously elevates things. In fact, I'd probably consider this one of the most stressful levels in the game. The whirlpool is constantly sucking you in, which also makes it harder to align properly with the front of the treasure chests, and that's already a task in of itself with the floaty swimming controls. This all compounds with the overarching risk of death by natural toilet and adds for a challenging star. Next up in spot 24 is Tower of the Wingcap coins. Take the difficulty of collecting red coins with the wingcap and add a missable factor. If you don't grab every coin on the flight down when you have the chance, you can't get enough altitude to go back for them. With how small of targets these coins are, this is guaranteed to be a repeated effort to nail this star. Coming in at 23 is Stomp on the Thwomp. This level is just climbing the entirety of Tick-Tock Clock from beginning to end. Whatever stars you've acquired here before, do it again, but follow the path even further beyond. At number 22, I put Bob-omb Battlefield 100 coins. This is the first iteration of 100 coin stars on the list, and a good example of why I judge these rankings on the overall effort involved. I wouldn't exactly describe this as hard, quote unquote, but these 100 coin stars are the most time-consuming and energy-hungry stars in the game. I'll pretty much have the same feedback for every map's equivalent of this, but with some minor deviations. Racking up the 100 coins involves searching the whole map and spending time to collect red coins, again, kill enemies, and find the limited timed blue coins. But enemy coins and blue coins can disappear, which opens up the possibility of having too few coins to beat the level overall, thus forcing a restart. It's exhausting based on how the typical level is designed in Mario 64. But at the very least, Bob-omb Battlefield has a ton of coins, the fewest stage hazards, and the easiest 100 coin goal to reach. Rank 21 is Wet Dry World 100 coins. Once more, Wet Dry World has a ton of coins, I believe the most blue coins available out of any map, and gets the next step up for being harder to navigate than the beginner-friendly Bob-omb Battlefield. Next up at spot 20 is Big Boo's Haunt 100 coins. More hunting, tons of coins available, although a considerable amount are enemy drops, which does introduce more possibilities for coins to disappear. Coming in at 19 is Whomp's Fortress 100 coins. Whomp's Fortress is a riskier map for the early game, and when you die, you start the coin hunt all over again. At 18 we have Jolly Roger Bay 100 coins. A safe map, relatively, but there's barely over 100 coins available to grab in the first place. You need to be very careful about how many coins you let slip away. Luckily there are few enemies to worry about, and the blue coins are easy quick grabs, so as long as you pay attention, the fear of disappearing coins is less common. Rank 17 goes to Dire Docks 100 coins. Very similar story to Jolly Roger Bay, there's very few coins available on the map to start. You need to keep a tight grip on every coin you can. Next up in 16 is Hazy Maze Cave 100 coins. You need to get the limited time blue coins to even have a hope of getting this version. But they spawn in the maze, which, if you don't know how mazes work, means they are easy to lose track of or find, so it is all too likely that they'll disappear before you clue into their whereabouts. Coming in at 15 is Cool Mountain 100 coins. Ice physics and tall deadly heights do not make for a good drawn out coin hunt. A lion's share of the coins are also found on the icy slide, which means coin famine isn't too likely. However, make sure you don't grab your 100th coin on the slide, or else it'll spawn on the slide, and then you'll go through hell trying to grab that star. At 14 is Snowman's Land 100 coins. Again, a lot of the coins are tucked back in the igloo sub area, but once you go in, there's no coming back out, so you better make sure to scour the outer area high and low for every possible coin before you go into that igloo. Rank 13 is for Shifting Sandland 100 coins. Now we're starting to double up on the anti-100 coin criteria. We got the constant threat of death sand while you search the outside of the pyramid, and death sand on the inside of the pyramid. Once again, you better be thorough when outdoors, because you can't leave the pyramid once you're in. Next up in number 12, we have Lethal Lava Land 100 coins. Similar story, gotta search the lava wasteland and enter the volcano for more coins, but don't enter it too soon. Coming in at 11 is Tiny Huge Island 100 coins. There's plenty of coins, but there's also plenty of dangers hanging around to end you. There are a lot of enemy coins that can fade away, and a treacherous sub-area. Now we're breaking into my top 10. At number 10, let's talk about Tall Mountain 100 coins. This goes back to having to utilize the slide for the lion's share of the coins, which is easy to die on and risky to end the mission on. At number 9, we have Snowman's Big Head. This is my mortal enemy of a power star in this game. All you have to do is cross this bridge, but the snowman head is constantly trying to blow you off, so you need to use this penguin as cover. The penguin is always moving around, and the slippery ice of the bridge makes this an insanely frustrating ordeal to work through. Maybe there's a cheat solution. In fact, I'm sure there is, but I did it legit, and I never want to do it again. Rank 8 goes to Swingin' in the Breeze. It should speak wonders that I'm only just mentioning a level from Rainbow Ride in the top 10. This kinda goes by the same philosophy as Tick-Tock Clock, where every star feels like the same challenge, but you essentially get off the course at certain points. Swingin' in the Breeze had the easiest path with the most generously sized platforms to work with. Next at spot 7 is Coins Amassed in the Maze. Ride the rainbows again, but now go to this giant maze and find the 8 red coins. I don't know what else to say, Rainbow Ride is just a bitch of a level to go through. Coming in at spot 6 is Tricky Triangles. Now take the precarious nature of Rainbow Ride and add a tight time limit. The star sits at the end of the path of pyramids, and at the flick of a switch you can invert the shape of the pyramids to create a walkable path. But you better beat feet, because if you don't move it, you're getting bumped down to the sky-high fall below. Now at the top 5, we have Cruiser Crossing the Rainbow. This is pretty much riding the entirety of Rainbow Ride to the highest heights for the star. Multiple carpets with plenty of danger and obstacles standing in the way is a recipe for ample failures. Rank 4 goes to Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I kid you not, it's just Cruiser over the rainbow, but with extra steps. This means running all the way to the maze on one side of Rainbow Ride to activate a cannon, then running all the way to the opposite side of Rainbow Ride to the cruiser and launching to the star. The bronze medal at spot 3 is awarded to the Big House in the Sky. This is the Rainbow Ride star with the most shit in the way. Fire, blocks, what feels like the longest carpet ride of them all. It is the near definitive gathering of all the challenging aspects in Mario 64's endgame. The silver medal, rank 2, goes to Tick-Tock Clock 100 coins. Add every challenging thing about the 100 coin formula and then throw it onto a map where it's hard to navigate and easy to die. Now the overall hardest power star in Super Mario 64, the number 1 spot, goes to Rainbow Ride 100 coins. I mean, it should go without saying, it's very time consuming to navigate the entire map to collect all the coins. It's very difficult staying alive on the entire map to avoid having to restart. Every criteria I have judged on this list is elevated and applicable to this one power star. I'm personally not sure how this couldn't be the top of the difficulty food chain, but who knows? We all have different opinions. Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. Throw a like and subscribe if you want to see more video rankings like this. I super love you guys for doing that, and I hope to see you all around.